just out of nowhere. Lets everybody go full bore, as if we weren't already. Just raises your blood pressure when you listen to it. And some people hate that. Welcome back to Low End University. Okay, the main reason I wanted to cover Cannibal Corpse on the channel today is because I follow their vocalist Corpsegrinder on Instagram, and I just love how wholesome this guy is. I mean, the track I'm hearing today is called The Strangulation Chair from their 2012 album Torture. And just look at the song names on this album. Like, can I say any of this out loud on YouTube? But he's one of my favorite people to follow because he's like a guru at the game claw machines. He goes to theme parks and arcades, and he wins tons of stuffed animals and brings them to children's hospitals and just loves doing it. And once he's done doing that, he gets on stage and does this. Again, despite falling in love with heavy music in high school, I never really gave this band a chance because there was one point I read like the back cover of one of their CDs and I looked at the track listing and it was much like what I just showed you, and I was like, my parents would kill me. And as the years went on, I just never went back and gave their music a chance. I knew I wanted to do a Cannibal track, didn't know where to start, searched the comments, there were a few requests I found. A few were talking about the Strangulation Chair, there was a bass solo in the song or something, which really piqued my interest, but without further ado, let's get heavy. God. Is that down in B flat? Now just remember, this is the guy that brings the stuffed animals to children's hospitals. He's a sweet guy. I just know that. I remember watching Corpsegrinder's rant about World of Warcraft, like one of the earlier videos on YouTube. But the other songs I've heard, like Hammer Smashed Face, I Come Blood, all this stuff, like I don't even know what albums they're really from. Down here in B flat, obviously I think they're tuned down. I might kick on my tuner pedal. Beefy riffs, lots of subdivision. It almost had that Meshuggah's Bleed Herita thing happening. But instead of kind of putting it against two, I think that was the pulse. How do you even say that? So it's got more of a kind of a shuffle feel. Saying shuffle with death metal is a weird thing, but I think it's more right on the each grouping of that thing. I'm gonna start it over. Get that rhythm down. Yeah, a couple variations. So it's almost like a 3-3-3-2 thing, okay? My tone is way too clean for that. I'll dial in something in a second, but kind of getting the riffs down a bit. What notes they are? Now that's cool. I feel like this is a thing I might have just never noticed sitting down and listening to like death metal, which I like a lot of it, but there's a lot I haven't heard. I feel bad because Cannibal Corpse are like one of the legendary bands to do this from the start, but I like how the double bass kicks in during the vocals and then it eases up. So you get this right with the vocals. It almost adds this like guttural bass under the vocals. Listen for that. It's kind of subtle, but it makes all those vocal passages feel so intense. Where would I start? Pretty cool. I like that effect. Yeah, you know, I talk about chord progressions all the time in music. I'm not going to be saying that word again in this video. There isn't one. In typical death metal fashion, it's a lot of singularity, a lot of doubling in terms of guitar and bass being in unison. Lots of tritones happening here. You hear that everywhere. The devil's note, flat 5, just, you know, atonal riffage, diminished things, intentionally not sounding whole, sounding kind of, you know, tense and unresolved all the time. That's just classic death metal. And again, I just like the way the riffs are accenting with the vocals. The vocals are kind of like in, then they take a breather, then they're in, and then they stop. And the music kind of ebbs and flows with it. Okay, I'm going to tune down. Kick down to E flat versus B. Okay, see what I can dial in here. Yeah. Ooh, that's kind of thuddy for that. Okay, what do I need here? I probably need some presence. I'm going to really scoop the crap out of it. I mean, it's got to sound ugly. There's nothing pretty about it. I actually can't really hear the bass by itself. Again, some comments talked about a bass solo later in the song. Maybe I'll get to hear it more, but Alex uses a lot of three-finger technique. I reviewed a track he did with Conquering Dystopia way early on in the channel, which is another one of his side projects I really liked. It was all instrumental. So we're just going to get nasty. I'm not trying to make this sound good. I'm just trying to make it sound a little even. A little punch in there. Okay. Yeah. Where do I jump in? Musically here too, it's kind of cool. I was talking about things changing when the vocals enter and exit. I feel like that diddle it, diddle it, diddle it is happening between the vocals now, and then it's just kind of riffing on the open B flat when the vocals come in. So it's dropping. It's like kind of writing down here as the vocals come in. So, you know, in genres like this, I typically don't pay attention to how are the vocals tethered to anything musically happening. It's just, even if it's happening, it's not very noticeable, but this is pretty noticeable to me. Really conscious handoff of vocals and, you know, more the busy part of that riff. It's kind of A, B, A, B. Okay. Yeah. I'm hoping to dial in something halfway close. It's so trebly in my ears. Kind of A-Bing. Just out of nowhere. Holy shit. Man, I think the guitars and the bass are fighting so much for the same frequency space. It's like when everything stops, the bass is like, hello, there it is, with a tone that is way less nasty than I thought. Again, I know Alex plays Spectre basses. Spectres have that really hi-fi, glassy, clean punch thing happening, like that real signature treble on the top end, which is like so different from something like a Stingray, right? Okay, I feel like I'm way too nasty now, so I'm going to put back in I'm going to take some of this edge out. I don't even know if I need the overdrive. It's not overdriven at all. Let's hear it again. Golly. This is more like the type of stuff he does in Blotted Science. Just lots of tapping, crazy technical things that aren't your typical like bass player shred thing. So this two-handed tapping, I'm going to actually change patches to something more clean here. I'm going to kick off the overdrive, and I might actually put some mid-range back. What would I do here? That's all tritones. Two-handed tapping, it has to be. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to assume it starts on B flat. It's really tough to tell the notes in this. Normally I can pick things up, but it's scooped, it's death metal, it's fast. There's no pattern to latch onto. Okay, I'm going to assume B flat. Yeah. What would that be? Just... Or is he kind of moving it around like... Maybe like that? Minor? That might be right. B flat minor chord. But tritone the fifth, so... And two-handed tapping is just a bitch to get. You really have to use a lot of left hand muting, like laying your fingers over the strings. That way when you're tapping with this hand, you're not getting this kind of like that ringing in the background when you start making contact with the bass and kind of hitting it. So I'm laying over here to get that B flat. These are dead. Just how I would approach it if you're trying to get into this type of thing, but... You know, guessing the exact notes is futile. It's so fast. I hope it comes back at least once or something like it. I would hate for that to be the main bass feature thing. Ooh, that top note's moving. It's like very piano-like. You almost have to, it's like rolling on the white keys. You have to kind of lift off of one to go to the other and then play the next one as you lift off to get this real smooth rolling motion. It can't all run together. It has to be. But you can't go, because that sounds awful. You have to go. Just roll it over and over again. But he's moving that top thing around, so... Man, the possibilities are endless. You could be even going underneath, so some wizardry like that. Okay, cool. Woo! Ooh, now he's climbing up. Listen to that. Whoa, man. It punched out for a second. Hear that back there? I don't know if he just repeated the solo, but it just got crazy. And I can imagine this was a part where it's like, let's everybody go full bore, as if we weren't already. Now the guitar solo is coming in, doing something, should I even say cut from the cloth of the bass solo? Because really, you can't even say that in a song that has no real harmonic structure. It's atonal, it's dissonant, it's lots of diminished stuff, so it's just on par with that theme. But it kind of has that rolling motion like the bass solo did. But yeah, tracking down this bass part, I mean, I've better luck finding a leprechaun. It's not going to happen. It's a fool's errand. It's precise, it's technical, it's tapping, it's everywhere, it's nowhere. That's what I like when I listen to this genre. Again, some of my favorite heavy bands, or maybe a bit more modern, Lamb of God, Between the Buried Me, some of the gentler bands, Periphery, that run more in that progressive circle. So the old school, more classic death metal, if you will, is probably my least touched ground in this side of things, but there's certainly a feeling it gives you no matter how heavy it gets. Again, you see a band live, you hear a band, but this genre gives you that feeling. It's like, just raises your blood pressure when you listen to it. And some people hate that. I tend to like it. It's like cathartic. I'm going to hear this pass one more time. Maybe I can see a little bit of what's going on. I highly doubt it. Woo! It's almost like a sweet pick guitar. You hear it back there, but I mean, again, it's an iteration of what he did earlier. Yeah, it's kind of similar. Just the big yell. You hear those big diminished walk-ups there. All minor thirds, right? All in a row. The whole song is just one diminished chord. It never settles. It never resolves. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to give you that feeling we were just talking about. And everyone's contributing to it, which just ups the ante, right? I like this riff. Yeah, I'm just guessing. I don't know. I'm just doing something kind of in the scale. In the minor scale, maybe 50% of the notes are right. Can you tell? I don't know. If I really play along, at least to get the low B flat. What a fun episode this has been. This is a great riff. These extreme metal episodes are fun. It's a whole different approach for me. It's not about picking out chords and talking about harmony and really even picking out the riff, which is what I spend a good deal of each video doing when things are more clear and easy to access. This is just tapping into like quantum physics on the fretboard, especially that bass thing. He has a real heavy hand when he plucks, so I imagine his tapping is just intense, just really hitting it hard. You can hear everything cutting through on that Spectre tone when it was by itself. And maybe it's cutting through more than I think, but it's either the blend is really good or it's really bad. It's almost like subjective. Is the bass blending in because it's becoming part of that sound, or is it actually just buried and popped out when it was exposed? But Cannibal Corpse, we have another entry into the extreme metal playlist. It's getting a little quiet on that one, so let me know. And if you want to support the channel, come find us on Patreon. I do full albums there, I have bass lessons, all sorts of stuff, a great community. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification. I love you all. We'll see you in the next one.